Hey, it's Susan Lewis. You ever have one of those days where you're thinking about something and every time you turn around it seems like everyone else is thinking about it too? So I've been pondering lately this idea of perfection. Why we want it, why it's so important to us, the pluses, the minuses, the ups, the downs. And I keep running across a bunch of other blog posts talking about it. So it's something that's striking a lot of chords with people right now. And for me, it is a constant battle towards keeping myself focused on the things that really matter and to let other things slide and achieve a level of excellence without feeling like I'm sacrificing my standards. So, why is that important? Why is it important for us to talk about perfection? And the more I look at it, the more I think about it, the more I'm coming to realize that perfection is actually very dangerous for us personally, for also for our businesses. And here's why. The first thing is there is no such thing as perfection. And no matter how hard you're trying to make something perfect, someone's not going to be happy with it. It's not going to be perfect in their eyes. But if you're so caught up in it being perfect, you're never going to get it done. It's never going to happen. The project will never ship because you're going after this mythical thing called perfect. There's no such thing. We're all human. We make mistakes. Stuff doesn't happen just right. Not everybody's happy with what we do, and sometimes that's actually better. So going after perfect is just a lost cause. There is no perfect, and it kind of fits in the there is no spoon. It's a very freeing idea to let go of the fact that perfect is even a existing kind of standard that you can reach. How is that for not perfect? The second thing is that there is no ROI on perfect. Are you familiar with an asymptote? This is something that I knew what it was, but I didn't know that was the word for it. But the idea that as close as you're getting to the line, it's a line you can get close to, but you can never actually even touch. There's no such thing as perfect, remember? So you can get as close to it as possible, but without ever touching it. And a lot of times people spend all kinds of time way out on what would be like the long tail of the curve, trying to get to perfect, when they should have stopped way back over here, where it was still worth what they were doing, where the effort they put in actually had great return. Because over here, you're putting in way large amounts of effort and getting very tiny incremental return on it. So learning to stop far before you get to perfect, learning to find that point at which you are still getting return for what you do is really important. And perfect is not it. The third thing is there is no F in perfection. Yes, I can spell quite well, thank you. There's no F. And by that, what I mean is that when you are trying so hard to be perfect, you are sacrificing a lot for something that's not very much. This may go back to the ROI thing, but just start with people who are obsessed with being perfect all the time, or even with being perfect on certain things that don't necessarily require perfection. One, are no fun to hang around with, and are probably not having a whole lot of fun themselves. So there's one F that's not imperfection. The second thing is, because they're not any fun, yeah, you're pissing off all your friends. They don't want to hang with you. They can't reach your impossible standards. So what's the point, right? And the third thing is that a lot of times when we are striving for perfection, when that is our goal, we miss out on really truly what's fabulous. And because we are so caught up in it being just right for everybody and being perfect, and we don't jump out on a cliff and try something just for the fun of it. Because we wouldn't be able to get it perfect, so why try? And part of that goes back to the last F, which is failure. There's a fear of failure, so we never try anything fabulous. We end up annoying all the people that we're trying to please because we're trying too hard to be perfect. So my challenge to myself, starting with this video, which is so far from perfect, is really truly to look at when and where it is worth trying to be up here and learning to understand what the concept of good enough actually means, when and where I should be looking for good enough, and enjoy myself a little bit more. Here's to not being so perfect.